Hi everyone, welcome back to Little K Artistry. I'm Little K. Welcome back to my studio, my little corner of the art world. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for subscribing and for your wonderful comments and your helpful suggestions and for sharing and liking and all the great things that you're doing. I am just blown away by how fabulous my subscribers are, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna say it every video. I think Little K Artistry subscribers are the best subscribers on YouTube, and I'm just gonna keep saying it because I believe it. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I know you could be somewhere else. There are hundreds of thousands of other people that you could be watching, and I just feel so honored that you decided to spend a few minutes with me today, and I hope that you enjoy it. This time, what I'm going to do, I'm actually not going to shout out all the states and countries this time. I believe I did that in a previous one. I might do it every other one, but I'm listing them all in the information for this video. So if you want to read down through and see if your state is represented, there are a number of states that are. We haven't got all 50 yet, but we're very close. We have more than half, I think. And lots of countries. I think 25 countries now, so fabulous. And we just added Costa Rica, thanks to Nate Bright Art. Nate Bright Art is awesome. If you can take a run over to his YouTube page and give a subscription to Nate Bright Art. Fantastic, wonderful artist, some really beautiful pieces over there. And he's from Costa Rica, so that's very cool. I'm Little K, I live in central Maine, which is in the, if you're not in the US, we're in the northeast corner, almost Canada. It's just a few hours drive to Canada from here. So welcome, thank you all for being here. What I'm doing is I wanted to show you, before I release all of my recipes that I have, mixes I call them, for my various forms of fluid art, I wanted to show you what they look like in real time, so that once I do release all of the mixes that I've been trying and testing and experimenting with, to just tweak things a little bit to make them a little bit special and very unique to my style of fluid art. Before I do all of that and release everything, I want to show you what they look like real time, how they work together, and how they work in different kinds of fluid art, like the blooms, the blowouts, like Rinskadownia does. I've thinned out my pouring medium so that it can be blown out with a hairdryer, and I've done a number of those. Works really well with that. I've also done some of the abstract cellism with, I told you about the mixes that I've been using that are a variation of Steve Chase's mixes, and you can hop on over to his channel, Steve Chase Art, and look around at all of his stuff, give him a subscription, subscribe to him, and look over all his stuff. Wonderful artist, watch his videos. I believe he's only still got 2, but if you're interested in why fluid art works and why abstract cellism works, Steve Chase is fantastic. I tweaked his mix a little bit and I make it my own. This pouring medium that I'm going to be using today is my Little K pouring medium. It is the same pouring medium that I've been doing for all the others. It has just 2 ingredients, and it's very exciting because it's extremely economical. This is what I've been looking for, and I kind of feel like as I've been doing this channel and as it's been changing and growing and as it continues to grow, I feel like I want to make it what I wanted to see when I first started doing fluid art. I want something that's very simple, that's very economical, that produces really beautiful results. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm testing and trying out all different kinds of variations of mixes and trying to find the most inexpensive that had the most beautiful results. And so that's what this is. This is my Little K pouring medium, 2 ingredients, and then what I'm doing is I'm mixing it with, this is going to be a foggy pour. I'm mixing it with my fog mix, and that was a few videos back. I can't remember exactly what number it was, but I will find it and I'll put it in the information under this video if you want to go back and read the ingredients in the mix for my foggy. It's based on a cloud pour, but it gives more of a foggy look, less of the really sharp lines that some of the cloudy pours have. It's a little bit more watery, which I like. So that's what this is. And then I'm going to be doing, it's a fairly dark palette. I'll tell you the colors as I pour them into the cup, and then I'm going to go ahead and pour it out. Just going to do a simple pour in the center of the canvas. I might tilt it a little bit to get the the look that I want and to get the composition just the way I want it. And then I will likely spin the rest of it off, and then we'll just hopefully we'll be left with just a really beautiful pour. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. I'll post all the information in the down below this video, so that if you want to do something like this, you absolutely can. So let's go ahead and start. I will kind of give you, I probably will, if you've seen some of my other recent videos, it might be a little redundant because I'm going to do each one of these videos as though this was the first video that you've seen of mine. And I do like to do a little bit of education, not a lot, because I like to make it fun too. And so you might hear some, if you've seen my other videos, it might repeat a little bit, but that's by design because I want new people just watching for the first time to get some information too. So one of the things that I do, that I've mentioned before, when I do a cloud or a foggy pour and I'm pouring into a cup and then out on the canvas, I like to use a paper cup because it's pliable and I can bend it and make a spout where I need it, so that when I get to the very end, I know exactly where my paint is going and I can direct it because I've got a little spout. So I like a paper cup versus the plastic or the harder ones that have the multiple sections in them. I've used them before and this just works best for me. They're great, but this just works best for me. Okay, so I am going to start with, I'm going to load up my cup. And what I'm looking for in this pour is, again, I think I did one before that had a dark center. Typically I do the light center and darker on the outer edges of the canvas, but this one I want to have a really neat dark center. So I am using some, most of these are, in fact they're all Amsterdam acrylics. This one is Oxide black. So I am using Oxide black. I am going to put a little bit of that. I also have Prussian blue and they're very close. I'm like, which one is Prussian blue? So this is my Oxide black, and I'm going to show you the consistency. I don't know if you can zoom in. If you're watching on a laptop, you probably can't. But if you're watching on your phone, you can definitely zoom in, and you'll be able to see the consistency. It's a 2-second trace, approximately. A 2-second trace. So it does drizzle off my little silicone stick. Drizzles off very smoothly. If it drizzles chunky, it just means you need to mix it more, possibly add more medium to it. So it gives it makes a mound, but it dissipates fairly quickly. So that's approximately a 2-second trace, if you can see that. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in the bottom of my cup. And I'm not going to drizzle it down the side, because if you drizzle it down the side, you'll get it throughout your painting, and I just want the black in the very center. So I'm going to put that, and I'm just covering the bottom of my cup. That is the black. And I might use the leftover on the outside of the pour afterwards so it has some place to slide to, but I'm not sure yet. The next color is my Prussian blue. This is Amsterdam Prussian blue. And it's the same consistency, drizzles off the silicone spoon really smoothly. This one and all the rest of them I am going to put down the side. Just a little bit of blue. And then if you remember from my other videos, the way I generally do it is 2 colors and then either the cloudy or the foggy, whichever one I'm using. This is the foggy. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. 2 colors and then the foggy. And then 2 more colors. On top of that, this is also Amsterdam, and this is Naples yellow. This is one of my favorite yellows. I love Naples yellow. And I'm going to put that yellow right on top of my foggy mixture because I want the fog to look a little bit yellow. Then on top of that, I am going to put, this is Brilliant Blue, Amsterdam's Brilliant Blue. And I'm going to put a little bit of that on top also. It's the same thickness, same consistency. Little bit of Brilliant Blue, and then back to the Prussian blue on top of that. Because I didn't put very much in there, I'm using 3 colors, and then I'm going to put a little bit more of the fog mixture in there, not very much, and then I'm going to go back to the yellow, and then the Brilliant Blue, just a little bit more, okay, Brilliant Blue. And then this is that beautiful Prussian blue. It's so beautiful, it's almost black. And then because it's so dark, I am going to put a little bit of black on there as well. And then a little bit more of the lighter blue. I don't like to put the foggy mix right next to black because I don't want any gray in this painting. And it will typically mix with my fog and it will make gray. And I don't want that. So you'll notice I didn't put any black next to the fog. So then a little bit more of the brilliant blue, and then I'm going to end it with the Prussian blue. A little Prussian blue. Okay, now I'm going to move those over so I don't accidentally hit the sticks and knock them over. Okay. Here's my Prussian. I'll put a little bit of Prussian blue in the middle of my canvas. And a tiny bit of my foggy mix also. Because I'm going to be pouring in the middle of this, that will all spread out and it will end up on the outside edge of the canvas. Okay. Now, like I said before, because I want the foggy mix to be throughout the painting, instead of pouring where I last poured that Prussian blue, I'm going to do 1/4 turn and I'm going to pour from the side because I can see that foggy mixture is right there and I want it to come out right away and be throughout the painting. So it is important how you pour and how you layer your paints. So we're gonna, okay, this is a moment of truth here. It's like, I want to hold my breath so I don't shake my hand, but I probably won't talk during this part of it. This is a bit of a challenge for me. Okay. This is just some of my leftover Prussian blue. I'm not too worried about how this part out here goes down. This is just to help make the actual foggy part slide on the canvas, because this is the painting. This is just the extra. I'll use a little bit of this Oxide black as well. Stretch this a little bit so that we have a smooth surface for my foggy picture to move on. Otherwise, you've heard me say it before, if the paint doesn't move, it's stationary art, not fluid art. And I don't want to do stationary art in this piece. This is fluid art. So it needs to move. So now my canvas has a good amount of slippery surface on it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to share with you is how different atmospheric conditions affect your paintings. And today is a really good day to share that with you. This is what I have discovered. I live in Maine, and we can have a considerable amount of humidity. And that does affect your paints. It affects the mixes, it affects how they dry, how long it takes for them to dry. It affects how the paints work. In my experience, if you work with a mix that includes Floetrol, especially Australian Floetrol, it affects the movement of that and the way that it acts with the other paints on the canvas. You will see there is a little bit of a difference sometimes, depending. This is going to be real pretty. So I'm going to scoot this over a tiny bit. I just want to stretch the design a little bit. And I always try to bring the center back to the center. Like I've said before, make sure the weight of the major part of your paint moves back to the center before you tilt it again. And that way it will keep any, in this case, the cloud or the fog, will keep it from going like wonky and being angular. You want smooth, rounded clouds. You don't want real choppy ones. They don't want to look angular because obviously they're clouds. So it's funny because I've never quite got the ratio of how much of that first color to put in the bottom of the cup. And I think I'm typically light-handed on that last color because there's not a lot of black in the center of this. But that's okay. I'm really liking the way the foggy mixture is mixing with the blues. And I think it's going to be really nice. I hope. We'll see. So I just keep bringing the weight and the middle of my painting, I keep bringing it back to the center of my canvas before I spin. Not everyone does, it's up to you. I just, because the clouds and the fog is looking really smooth and round, I like to keep it that way as much as possible. So I don't want it to be too wonky. There's a little bit of something right there because it's messing up the shape of that one cloudy bit. And this is gonna look really pretty. Just a tiny, tiny bit of yellow in there. And I was a little bit worried that I'd have a lot of green, and there isn't a lot of green. I'm quite shocked, actually. There's only the tiniest hint of green, and I think it looks really nice. Once I get this all stretched out and spun, I will bring the camera down so you all can see what this looks like. There we go. That is quite pretty. Okay. Now I'm debating. This is the point where I try and decide if I want to tilt it and tilt off or if I want to spin. And I think I might want to do a little bit of both because I still have a lot of paint on this canvas and I feel like I really want to stretch that black part. And on my last one that I did, if you watched the last Foggy Pour video that I didn't really stretch it. I did more spinning than stretching, and I really wanted that center to be more pronounced. That last color that I put in the middle, I didn't have a lot of it, but I didn't stretch it really very much either. And I think I want to do that this time. So I'm just tilting it so you can see it moving. I'm sorry I don't have more than one camera angle yet. I'm working on it. I'm just trying to stretch that middle part where the black is a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to deliberately stretch this before I got to the center because I want to tweak those clouds a little bit, make them look a little bit wonky, because I kind of like the way that this is turning out. Kind of looking a little bit squiggly. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to tip a little bit of this actually off the canvas. There we go. And then I'm going to bring it back to the center. Oh, this is going to look so pretty, you guys. know if you can see it from there or not. This is gonna be so pretty. And there's not hardly any. In fact, I don't think there's very much, if any at all, gray in it. And it's because I deliberately did not put that Oxide black anywhere near the foggy mixture, because I didn't want any black. I didn't want any gray. There's a little bit in the middle, but it's a blue gray, because if you remember when I filled the cup, I put black on the bottom and then I put Prussian blue right next to it. So it's a really pretty blue gray. And some of the clouds and the fog are like tipped with yellow. This is exactly what I was hoping it was going to look like, you guys. I'm just really... I'm screaming on the inside because I'm so happy. You can't tell. You can't hear it, thankfully. It'd be pretty annoying if you could hear me screaming. Okay, so I'm just going to set this down real quick, and then I'm going to tip it to the other corners, and then I think I'll spin it a little bit, stretch it out, and see what happens. Okay, there we go. There's that. Goodness, you guys, this is gonna be so pretty. I hope you're still with me. You guys all say you like it when I get goofy, so you better, because I haven't even unleashed all the goofy. There's so much more goofy. And let me tell you what, the people who know me, and if you know me and you're watching this and you want to comment to confirm what I'm saying, my brain is literally full of movie quotes. Oh, you guys, this is looking so pretty. I literally live in my brain in the movies. I don't actually know why. I have a suspicion. My best friend in high school worked for a video store, and we used to hang out all the time and just watch movies. And it was the 80s, because I graduated in 1990. Shh. I graduated in 1990, so all the 80s movies were like the bomb. And she, like I said, worked in a video store, so she had access to all the 80s, and that's what she had to do for work. I'm going to spin this. She had to watch the movies so that she could recommend them to people. Imagine having to go to a movie store to rent a movie. I think it was the Movie Gallery? I don't remember the name of it, but that's where she worked, and we used to just constantly watch movies, because in order to recommend a movie to someone, she had to know what it was about. So she was, oh, what do you guys think? Oh, I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this. I don't like this, though. I think I might need to just, what could I do with that? Maybe... I'm worried about distorting that center too much. I don't want to... Is there enough to move? There's not really enough to move. Hold on. I'm just going to spin it a few more times and see if I can get rid of... I don't mind this corner. It's a little... meh. I'm not loving it. But this corner I definitely don't like. That one... This one's perfect. Of course, when I spin it, it'll not be perfect anymore, but what I think I'm going to do is pull it that way. So I'm going to put this canvas right on the very edge, and we'll see if I can make sure I'm not going to hit anything. That's another tip, you guys. Make sure you know where your canvas is at all times, and make sure that you've got a clear area around it, because I cannot tell you how many times I have taken out either a canvas, flipped it off my spinner because it hit something, or I've taken out bottles or full containers of paint. I don't recommend doing that. It's a little expensive and it's messy. Okay, so I didn't really want to disturb this corner or that corner. I just mostly want these, and they're slowly coming off, so think I'll spin the other way. This one needs a little yellow. And I think there's a little yellow there. This one needs a little yellow too. Blue and yellow. Okay. All right, I'm gonna spin one more time and then I might go the other direction. I just want to really get rid of that black corner. I don't like that black corner. I love the rest of it though. This is coming out really nice. I probably just got paint on my nose. I do that every time. I get it. By the way, I caught the fly. I didn't catch him. I killed him. There have been a couple of videos, I don't know if you all have seen them yet, when I've been plagued by a fly. I got him. I squished him. Nobody messes with my art. Okay, so here's something that I want to tell you that I should have done that I goofed on. Typically you want to pop the bubbles before you start spinning, because now I can see there's some little white spots, white bubbles, cloud bubbles, that probably are not gonna turn into fog or cloud because I popped them too late in the spin. There's not enough paint to spin off now. They're not gonna stretch very much. So if I was to do anything differently with this painting next time, I would remember, so you guys remember, to pop the bubbles before you start spinning. If you can remember, which I clearly did not. Okay, so that's almost perfect. Oh, this is looking really neat. I like this a lot. I don't want to keep spinning though because I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my composition in the spinning here. So I'm gonna do this. Sometimes if you have the weight of extra paint on top and then you spin it just one more time, the weight of that extra paint will pull some of the paint off that you don't want on there anymore. And it will all kind of slide because I've got a little extra weight. That extra blue paint on there is pulling, so that's good. That's nice, I like that. Yeah, that's better. That's definitely better. I didn't like that black. Okay, so this is for the most part done. Couple of things I will tweak next time if I use this color palette, just to let you know what I'm thinking if you're curious. Mostly I love it. I will use probably more black and blue in the center, and I think I will wait on putting the foggy mixture in until I get a few more layers of the black and the blue. But honestly, I really do. I really like this a lot. It's very, very close to what I was going for. I'm just trying to figure out what the composition is here. It's not quite centered. There we go. I think I like. Yep, that's the composition. Okay, so this blue, I'll probably need to tweak that once it's dry. Well, I might spin it one more time, but that's the composition right there. The way you guys are seeing it, and I'll come back behind the camera and see if I can bring you in a little bit closer so you can see all the fog and the cloudiness. It's very close to what I was picturing. Very happy with it. I know what you all think. Comment down below. Let me know where you're from and what you think of this painting. And let me see if I can bring you in here a little bit closer. I'm going to zoom you in. Hope nobody gets vertigo. Okay, I'm going to zoom in and then I'm going to see if I can pick this up and then show you what this looks like. There's the center. You can see the black and then the blue. I think I forgot to turn my overhead light off. I'm sorry, there's probably a little bit of glare on there. There's the outer edges. Very, 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 very cool. This part right here to me looks a little bit like a snake. Kind of snaking through the bottom part of the canvas over there. Very neat. But you see how the cloud isn't cloudy, it's foggy. It's just mixing with the other colors to make it look like fog. What do you guys think? Looks like a tunnel to me. Let's zoom out a little bit more here. Does it look like a tunnel to you? That looks like a tunnel to me. Sorry about the glare. I forgot to turn off the overhead light. What do you think? Is it, you liking it? I'm liking it. Good thing, because it's my painting. Good thing that I like it. Okay, I'm just gonna move that back up. Well, I thought I was gonna move it back up. There we go. Okay, I'll come back around and holler at you for a second. Okay, I really like it. I will probably try this color palette again just to see if I can get a different result. I wanted a little bit bigger of a dark area in the center, but I do really like it. Let me know what you guys think. It kind of looks like a geode lip. I am liking it. I'm surprised there's not hardly any green. There's a little bit of a green tinge to it, but I don't mind. I really like it. What do you guys think? Do you like it? This was very relaxing. It's so enjoyable. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comment section. I will try and answer them to the best of my ability. I appreciate you all for being here and spending a few minutes with me in my little corner of the art world. Thank you so much for subscribing and sharing and liking and commenting and all that stuff. I am also on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok as Little K Artistry. This platform though, YouTube, is where I do most of this, and Facebook is where I'm the most active, just because this is where people interact with me the most. So this is the most fun. So thank you again. I appreciate it. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And remember, don't forget, just go make the art. Have a beautiful day.